Dusser Smarty told me it was a hot mic.
Make sure you know,
yeah,
so you don't come out here cussing out women.
Oh,
while it's live.
I stuck
Fancy,
my foot in my
huh?
mouth. They got tall guys on here. Is this thing too close to my face?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing all right. They got. I don't know who. I just kicked somebody off that's probably smarter with college basketball than I am. So I don't. I don't know if you.
We talked to T.O. enough that we know he's not smarter than you.
That's right.
I can guarantee that.
So, Nate, first of all, like, your season was hard to figure. I mean, it was hard for us to figure. I don't know how hard it was for you as a head coach, because you go to, like, Seattle, you beat Gonzaga. You beat Houston when they're full strength. And then you lose some that are a little bit head scratch. Didn't you lose to Georgia?
We gave them their one
Georgia.
SEC win.
Right.
I mean, we, Missouri beat us. And Missouri started to play a little better there. Lost to Mississippi State. And they weren't bad either. It was on the road. But, no, I mean, we had some of the best wins in the country, and then we had some of the, as you call them, most head-scratching losses. We played 4 Sweet 16 teams. We were 4-0 against them. We played 3 of the Elite Eight teams. We were 3-0 against them. We beat Miami by 32.
Crazy.
Beat Arkansas. We beat Houston. We beat Gonzaga in Seattle. We beat Tennessee. we had some really good wins, but we lost to Georgia. I mean, we did.
How hard was that as a coach, not knowing what you're gonna like? There's nothing harder than that, is there? Not knowing what you're gonna get.
It was frustrating because you felt like you played up to the level of your competition, and some of that deals with, as a coach, you're, motivating your team to play no matter what. It's part of your job. So, as a head coach, I felt like I wasn't doing my job very well. I couldn't get them motivated to play some of the lesser teams. And I think it came back to haunt you. Like if we'd have won the games we were supposed to win, we end up a 2 or a 3 seed. Well, if you're a 2 or 3 seed, you're not playing Notre Dame in the first round. So, you play a 15 or a 14, it's a little easier to get out of the first round, and it's a big difference. So, it ended up hurting us. And Quinterly going out obviously against Notre Dame hurt us big. He had really started to turn around there at the end of the season, but it's what happens as basketball. We didn't have enough depth. When Burnett went out and Amari went out for the whole year, our perimeter depth was real light anyways, and we play so many guards. We played 4 guards a lot. We really only had 4 guards on the team that were healthy, and then when Quinterly goes out. But, I mean, we still ended up a 6 seed, the top 6 seed in the tournament. So,
which if we had said that about Alabama after losing all you lost a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's
including Primo. That was the quick one I was so shocked about being a young guy.
I was down in New Orleans last weekend. I came down here to watch Primo and Herb played each other. They're both starting right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Herb's playing great. Primo's playing great. Lost Petty. Lost Reese. Lost Bruner. We lost a lot.
You did.
So to still be a 6 seed, and to be honest with you, I think that was the highest seed in 17 years in Alabama basketball, outside of last year. If this year hadn't fouled up last year, people might be happy with it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I think it says a lot about where your program is right now, that Alabama basketball, getting a 6 seed, having sellouts, having a great environment, that's considered a bad year? That's a down year for you guys now?
Inside the program, we're a little disappointed because we knew what we were capable of by the wins we had. But, I mean, if you look at it overall, we're headed the right direction. We still feel like we got a great recruiting class coming in. We got transfers that we're on that we feel good about. I think we'll be better next year. I think the program's definitely headed in the right direction.
Listen, maybe I would say my favorite player last summer was Nick Smith. I would say my second favorite player was probably Brandon Miller.
And they're on the same team,
So skilled. Like, Brandon, to me, just knows how to play. Super
got great
skilled.
feel.
Right.
Unbelievable. 6'9", 2-guard, kind of, can play 1 through 4. Shoot, even 5, with how we play a little bit. We played
Herb
there
he's
some.
Underrated. Like, people have him ranked like 10th, and I almost feel like that's too low, but he's not like an exceptional athlete, right? That's why.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like freaky athletic, but he's certainly not a bad athlete. Right. He moves great. When determine how you determine athleticism, it's kind of.
Well, it's not Nick Smith.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not J.D. Davidson with but he's 6'9", right, and can really handle. I mean, he can pass, dribble, and shoot. We didn't have enough guys on our team this year that could pass, dribble, and shoot. He can do that at a high level. He can score it. He can shoot it. He's got good feel. He's a great kid. Like, Great. We had a little travel issues yesterday. His brother, I got stuck in Chicago a lot longer than I was supposed to. I ended up making it down here all right, but his brother.
Flight. You were on the same flight as one of our guys over there.
Yeah, they were talking to me about it. We were just comparing stories. I was a little smarter and got out of Midway and got up to O'Hare and got down here, but but Brandon's brother was like on the same flight I was supposed to be on. It was supposed to go through Nashville, and they got delayed. But Brandon's FaceTiming me. I'm trying to figure out, get with travel agents. And like,
yeah, you head coaches. Listen, here's the deal with it. Once you become a head coach, and Randolph knows this because he was an assistant for a long time, you lose all ability to do anything by yourself.
That's not true. I got my own ticket. I was supposed to be on a Southwest flight. I had my cell phone out. I bought my own United ticket.
Very impressive.
Ordered my own Uber to get me from Midway to United.
Can you drive yourself around?
You're one of the few that do.
I never take a drive around. I'm driving myself around down here. I drove myself. I got a rental and drove from
the
airport.
That's impressive.
I was a high school coach 9 years ago. I was teaching.
It is still crazy to me. Like that's still like a decade ago. You're a high school coach. Now you're down here, and people actually know who the hell you are.
Well, yeah, that's like I used to be the guys that are somewhat annoying to me now. You know?
wait, you still are. You're still annoying, just in a different way.
I got to ask you, if there's a guy that can relate to what Jay Wright is going through and losing a player, it would be you and the impact that had. I mean, you were in the locker room with your guys, and I know no one felt worse than you did as well, but for your players and everything else, I mean, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard when Quinterly went out like 3 minutes into that game, and you know he had been playing well late in the season too. It was tough. I mean, you got to adjust on the fly now. You know, Villanova, at least they lost him later in the game, but now they got some time to prep. But they were only playing 6 guys.
They weren't playing, 6 guys anyway.
You know, we were playing more guys than that, but we didn't have enough guards to begin with, so that's going to hurt them. I mean, what was he, their second leading scorer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that. Now, Villanova's got an unbelievable culture, and I'm sure somebody's ready to step up and play the way they need to play. But their second leading scorer, and as good as he was, it's hard for that. Plus, you're playing Kansas. You're not playing. You know, it's a pretty good team. Even with them, they have a tough game. So yeah, it's going to be hard.
Is it crazy that? And I didn't ask Jay this, but they only have one transfer on their team. And it's Caleb Daniels.
He's pretty good. He's from New Orleans here, right? Yeah.
He didn't transfer this year. Like, they have not lived in the portal at all. And maybe it is because their culture is so strong and guys aren't transferring out and he wants to develop them. But, I mean, you don't find that very often right now, and you wonder if he's going to be able to keep doing that.
Yeah. I didn't realize they only had one transfer. It's, you know, because a lot of people are looking at the quick fix. I mean, TJ Atzberger is one of my good friends, and just talking to him about how he went about the portal, and I mean he turned that thing around quick with the transfer portal. But you know Jay's done an unbelievable job building a culture there, and if you're planning on bringing in guys for just 1 year all the time, it's hard to probably maintain. If you're bringing a lot of guys, you know, but shoot, Musselman's lived in the transfer portal pretty heavy and done a pretty good job with it. So I guess different guys are going to do it differently, and then you know everybody talking about one and done, you can't win with that. Well, Duke's got some pretty good ones right now. They got as good a shot as anybody to win the whole thing. So I think it's being shown you can do it differently. You know, transfer portals develop all the way up, play them as junior seniors, get some one and dones. We're trying to do a little bit of everything. Like right now,
you have to in Tuscaloosa, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, we've got some good, really good incoming class, but we're going to take some transfers. You know, we want some guys that are capable of going one and done. We want some guys that need to be there 3-4 years. I think you got to have a little bit of everything.
You got to mix it all together. You got to have someone that can be that holdover that can maintain. We talked about this with Brad Underwood earlier. Like part of the reason they were able to have success this year, despite losing Io and despite losing 3 guys off their staff, is that Trent Frazier and DeMonte Williams maintain that leadership and that culture and that, to use a cliche, like that coach on the roster. Right?
No, it's true, and that was a little bit of our issue this year. Like we had some talented guys held over, but they weren't the most vocal guys from last year.
Yeah.
You know, we lost Herb. I mean, it was Herb. See, Jordan Bruner even he transferred in from Yale, but smart and not afraid to speak up. Like spoke up in his 1 year with us. You know, Reese wasn't super vocal, but he definitely was a leader. We thought Petty spoke up a lot. So you talk about kind of the guys, we had some coming back that knew how to play in the system, but they weren't the most vocal guys, and it was a different role for them. And kind of got to work on some of the leadership
It's
stuff.
the hardest thing
too.
to get guys to do. If they're not talkers, to get them to talk, to get them to like the sound of their voices,
Yeah.
that's a tough get.
How you were an assistant for how long?
11 years.
Under who were you under?
Manning, Busdelic, and Forbes.
He had all three of them at Wake,
Okay.
and they're all very different. Those
Completely
three are
different.
very different.
As different as they get.
I know. It's kind of crazy.
As different
right?
as they get.
Yeah, it's so you
I
kinda,
would compare
you
Nate.
know.
Nate is the closest to those three. Definitely the closest to Forbes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is that a
High
positive
energy.
or a negative, Jeff? Well, I mean, is that
Other than you don't look like Forbes, so that's a good thing. Although
Steve's
Forbes
not-
has lost a lot of weight.
Steve's not-
how
He
much,
has
how
done a
much
great
weight has
job.
Forbes lost
Oh.
in the last year?
My wife
2
saw
years.
him yesterday and said, you lost another person.
Yeah.
So it's
true.
been, I don't know how many pounds, but he's
So you're
lost quite a
better
bit.
looking, Nate. but-
wait. I mean, he's done an unbelievable job everywhere he's gone. I just wasn't sure if that was the
No, it's a
positive or not.
positive.
Okay.
Nate, I need you to tell the story. I think you told it on here before. The store that you ran out of for your
So good.
to fund your high school team. What was it?
I
Was
mean,
it hot, was
who
it
was
hot
that?
Cheetos that you sold? What was it?
I mean, it sold everything. I went to Sam's Club and listen. So at Romulus, when I got there, I think they had $78 in their budget. So what do you buy? 1 basketball, 2 basketballs. So we when I got there, they had that. When I left there, they had 6 of the shooting machines that cost like $6,000 each, and I think I left them with like 20-some grand. And so we went out and got after a little bit. We tried to gear our guys up. You got to entice the players. We tried to treat it like a college program. I had my assistants had computers to break down film. So, anyways, we had to raise money. So here's what we did. We did all different ways. But I got a minivan. No lie. I could put the seats in and drive the team around in the summer, but I left the seats out during the year for the most part. Once a week, Sunday night, I go to Sam's Club, and hot Cheetos, Capri Suns. That was like great. Kid buy 2 hot Cheetos, 2 Capri Suns, wash it all down. We had muffins. We had whatever you could find at Sam's Club that kids would buy. We had it loaded up in my room, and so they'd come in. I'd put a student behind the desk. They'd take the money. Then one principal didn't want, I thought that was a distraction. Kids coming in the room. I can't do it anymore. So we had like the knapsack. So I'd just send kids out. That was worse because then it was being sold in every teacher's classroom. So then they're like, I forget it. Just go back to selling it out of your room.
They must have hated
But
you.
we made a little money. Yeah, we had a little bit of,
You were working it. You
Yeah,
were working it.
we were
You had
hustling.
to.
We were hustling. We
Yeah,
had
you had
some
to
kids,
hustle.
kids hustling. I'm trying to think what was up. Pop-Tarts for in the morning. I had like 2 fridges there.
What
to
was
keep
the
keep
markup?
drinks.
What was the markup on the
I usually
Pop-Tarts?
doubled everything. Like that's what I tried. But you had some theft issues too.
It balanced out.
Yeah. I tried to watch it close, but so.
Hey, how is it recruiting now when I feel like people know your system, know how fast you play, and obviously kids want that more than anything else. How has that kind of changed in terms of being able to recruit? Because obviously you've gotten really, really good, talented players, and I didn't know if you could do this. I mean, listen, when Greg Byrne hired you, I knew you were a hell of a coach, but you're coming from Buffalo, you're from the Midwest, you're going to Alabama. It was the one thing that
Yeah.
I've always said, like, a little outside the box. I didn't know if it
You
could
put
work.
a negative tweet out about it. Did you do that?
I don't know if
that-
it was negative, but I think it was like,
Controversial, we'll
He
say
said
controversial.
it was the worst
Who the
hire
hell
of
is
the
this guy?
decade.
Is what he
Oh, is that what he said?
I did
The
not
worst
say that.
hire of the decade. That's
No,
that's a direct quote.
no, that
I
was
would
not
never-
true.
I would not
But
make
I
that
did.
up.
I was wondering how it would work down there because, first of all, I didn't know if
I
anybody
just
could
stay
understand
stay
you.
off social media, so I don't know what you said.
I didn't
But
know. With your accent, I didn't know if
I
anybody
got an
could
accent.
understand you down
What
there.
kind of accent do I
It's
have?
that thick Midwestern, whatever.
Well, when I
it is.
grew up in Wisconsin, everybody asked me where I was from. I'm like, I'm from here. They're like, you don't sound like you're from. I don't know where my accent
You have
is.
you have a much thicker accent than TJ. I know that. All right. So, but honestly, like, how much has that enabled you?
Yeah, I
to be
think
able
our
to get big recruits?
that's what we sell a lot of is our style of play. I mean, we're looking for a certain player. There's certain programs in college that play traditional way, and players that would be great in their system wouldn't be that good in our system. So we don't go after everybody. We go, we want to play multiple guards. We play a 4-guard lineup a lot. Shoot, when we had Herb essentially was our starting point. Then we brought Quinterly off the bench, but you could bump Herb all the way down to the 5. We played him at the 5 some. So we need kind of multi-dimensional, multi-positional, long athletic wing guard types and playing fast. I mean, we kind of have a graph we use in recruiting. It shows like tempo and three-point rate. We're up there in the upper right, kind of out of all the high major teams. We're playing fast, taking more threes than there's some team. Villanova takes a lot of threes, but plays very slow. Right. Other teams play very fast, don't take as many threes. There's some that don't do either. And then we kind of show how the NBA, we showed charts showing how the NBA's gone significantly up in three-point rate, pace, post-up rates, diving. It's not a post-up league. And now we're in the SEC where you should be able to recruit pros. And we've had 3 guys get drafted. 2 of them are starting as rookies now. So we've proven guys can leave our system, play in the pros, and play well. So we definitely use that in recruiting, but I still think recruiting is a lot about relationships. Guys that tell us they want to play fast and take a lot of threes end up committing to a team that plays slow.
Right.
So Eddie had a great relationship with that staff, you know. So we'll use our style of play a lot, and I think guys that are smart and really research it, it definitely helps us. Some guys are just going to go straight on relationships they have. So you still got to build a relationship, and Brian and Petway both do a great job with that. And, got a pretty good recruiting class coming in. I like our guys coming in. So,
how much did you guys rely for you? You rely obviously a lot on your analytics with that. I mean, from your NBA style and watching you play, it jumps through the screen when watching you guys. And how long has it been for you make that transition?
I was a math teacher for a long time. I was a math major. I'm big in analytics, and the whole efficiency and all that. But it you can say, most efficient shots, free throws at the rims, threes, kick out threes, open threes. But if you don't know how to get those shots in your system, you can say you want those shots.
Everybody says
it. Yeah. But you say it and then you run a system.
Can't run flex and then call you one.
Yeah. I mean, but you're going to get elbow jumpers. Well, exactly. Like we want, on the defensive end, you want to take those 3 shots away and force mid-range, and we were a lot better at that when we had Herb.
But you applauded your guys when they did it. I mean, that's the difference.
Well, the thing is, you incentivize it, you show it to them. We've got a big, they call themselves Bamalytics. Like my ops guy, Adam Bowman, moved him. He's mainly just analytics guy now. He does a great job. But they've got all these reports. I mean, and we show our guys, all the different efficiency numbers. We'll give them, here's your points per possession on every kind of shot you take. Going left, going right, pull up off the dribble, 3s, 2s. And we won't tell a guy he can't take a mid-range. Yeah. Like last year we were number 1 in the country at not taking them, but I think we still shot 12.8% of our shots from mid-range, which is 1 out of every 8. So there's still a time and a place for them. We're just not designing the offense to get them.
Yeah.
But we don't tell our guys not to take them, but we'll tell them, oh, here's your efficiency numbers. If you want to keep shooting the shot, that
you got to sit down by me.
Yeah, I mean, if you shoot 35%, you're going to shoot a heavy dose of them, and we can't win doing that. Yeah. So how about we shoot these shots that you're shooting, your points per possession are over 1 instead of a 0.7 or whatever they'd be on them.
All right, we're going to get you out of here on this. We try to get some news out of everybody here. So J.D. Davison. Well, what's the latest? So you talk to him. Where's he kind of head? I mean, he's so athletic.
I mean, here's the deal. I don't have an answer for sure. When we brought him, the plan was 1 and done. He's athletic. He's on a lot of first-round boards. So the feedback we're getting, he's still second half of the first round, early second. My gut feeling is he'd probably go. And to be honest with you, a kid like him is going to get drafted on his upside.
Potential.
Yeah, and could he have played better as a freshman? Yeah, but can't most freshmen play better?
Yeah,
I mean, that's the whole thing.
Paulo, right? He can play better, obviously.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's been great.
I mean, the top 3 guys in the draft, like Chet, Jabari, and Paulo, we played against 2 of them. They're really good.
Yep.
I mean, when you walk away from Chet, there's a lot of holes in his game. He's still going to go top 3.
That's right.
Jabari's got holes in his game. He's good. So everybody, a lot of people said, man, JD could really use another year with you. Couldn't they all?
Right.
But if they're going to get drafted and get guaranteed first-round money, here's what I'd say. If a kid's going to get guaranteed first-round money, it's really hard. Yeah, it's hard to tell him to stay. Right. You're not doing right by the kid. And my thing, all the way back to high school coach, just do right by the kid, and it'll all work itself out in the end. So My gut feeling is he stays in the draft because he's got such ridiculous upside, and that's what they're going to. His best basketball is years down the road, and I think he showed he can do enough that he's going to be drafted, and but that's a family decision. I'm not making a decision for him.
Well, I'm gonna make it for you. If he's not a first round draft pick, he should come back because you guys run a pro style system. You've proven that it works, and you play a style that's going to translate for him to go. So I think he may take a step being there with you than maybe in someone G League if he's not drafted in the first round.
I would agree with that. If a kid's not going to be in the first round, it's probably
you
better.
got to come back.
But yeah,
and definitely because of the way your system and what you've shown and the way you operate,
I appreciate
he would
it.
definitely benefit from
You'd
that.
have been good in our system.
I would have loved it. I would have flat out
Hold on,
loved
what
it.
year was that you went
Oh
on the run in
my
the ACC tournament?
God, 95. I would have loved it. Any
I
year
was in college. I still
enjoyed
remember
it.
watching that whole. That was 4 games.
Only three then.
Only 3 you
Only
played.
3 then.
What did you score over 103 games? Is that what it was?
107.
That was crazy. So that
right,
was
Nate.
good. Appreciate you guys, man.
appreciate you,
Always
man.
good having you on.
Appreciate
Being
it.
on. Having you on. Hey, who is this?
Coach K.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it.
Good seeing you, man. Coming on.